I also literally just noticed the zipper's broken. I have no idea how long that's been like that. That's gonna be really unfortunate if it was like that the entire time. Hi everyone! So this video is about how I decorated this dress right here. All of the rhinestones and all of the lace appliques were put on by myself. So here is a little bit of a kind of behind the scenes video of how I did it and what kind of stuff I did. I admit I wasn't that great filming everything for this video because like I always do, waited until close to the last minute to get everything done. So I got into the mode of, oh god, just get everything finished. So yeah, this is what I have and this is what I worked with. So if you want to see a little bit of extra footage and behind the scenes footage of how I created this dress, then just keep on watching. Okay, new project time. Side note, I just got my Tati Beauty palette in today, so that's what's on my eyes, and I was playing around with it, so that's why I look a little, well, way too done up to just be sitting around in my room. So here's the dress. It is floor length. It's got some mesh inserts on the side, in the middle, and also on the back. So I'll go ahead and set up my tripod and get this on and talk a little bit about what I want to do with it. Okay, so here's the dress. Hopefully you can see the whole thing. So as you can see, it's got a slit all the way up this leg. So a couple things the dress needs, like alteration wise, is the zipper is out like a lot, and I think it's just because these straps are too long. So if I pull these straps up a little bit and shorten this, it'll bring the back up a little bit, which will hopefully fix that problem. So here's the dress before, as is. So the dress is also definitely pretty long, but the shoes that I'm planning on wearing have like a 5-inch heel and a little bit of a platform, so I was trying everything on yesterday and the length is fine and will work for this occasion. So here's the back. It's got like a little bit of a swirl to it, but not a whole lot. Okay, so now that I've shown you the dress, the next thing that I'm going to do is go around my sewing area and try to find as many like embellishments as I can. So I went to Joann's today looking for inspiration because I knew that I kind of wanted to get some lace and cut out some appliques and sew it on and maybe get some rhinestones and get some beads in there. So I was walking through Joann's looking for inspiration, looking for a lace that I really liked and wasn't going to be, you know, $50 a yard. So I found what I think I have a remnant of somewhere. So I found some nice red lace. I'll show you in a minute. I got 2 yards of it plus a half because it was the end of bolt. And I'm pretty sure I have about somewhere between a half a yard and a yard of it as a remnant. I think it's the same one. I'm not 100% sure. I have a lot of different stashes of remnants to go through to find it again. I also have a whole bunch of rhinestones and beads and things that I need to go through and see what I have to see if I need to order any. I should have some red beads and red rhinestones from a secret project I worked on a couple of years ago, so I should have some of that left over, but for now I'm going to get everything kind of in a way that I can easily show you what I have so you can kind of dig through all of my problems with me. So I'm gonna go do that and then kind of take you through everything that I have. Okay, so let's start off with what I got at Joann's today. So completely unrelated, but I found these 2 little like iron-on patch things that I thought were really funny, so I got those. I also picked up, this is what I was looking for, and this was the nicest kind of like decently affordable lace that they had in stock, so this is what I got. So I got 2 yards of it, but it was the end of bolt, so I got another half yard for 75% off because that's the remnant deal. And then I went through my stash and found this remnant, which is, I'm like, it's the same fabric. It's definitely the same. So I have another yard of this. So I have 3.5 yards of fabric of this lace to cut out appliques galore from. So I'm glad I have that. But I also saw these, which are really pretty. So these are buttons. They say they're buttons, but they have 2 little holes on opposite little petals over there. So I got these and these look really pretty. So I'm excited to use these and hopefully they'll have more next time I go back because it's me and I'll definitely be back at Joann's. So now let's go through kind of the rest of my stash. So in here I have So in this one, I have some leftover stuff from the secret project I was working on. It was a commission for somebody. And then this is my sparkly things box that we'll get to in a minute. I also have just this other random thing of beads. Not all of my beads, but some of them. So I'm going to go through these. And I don't know, I might just speed this up and show you the important parts. I have lights. I think I should put lights on this dress. That might be a bit much even for me. I have some red in here. So I have a couple of red beads in here. I have red beads in here. So I'll hold on to these. These are like the cheap rhinestones that you can get at Michael's. They're not particularly sparkly, so I'm just gonna not use those. So these are all Swarovskis. These are hot fix, but I glue these on. So I have some reds in there. I have some sequins. Sequins might be a little tacky, I'm not sure. Ooh, some more red beads. Okay, definitely keeping this one out. Oh. It's also peppermint bark season and I'm weak. So this is my favorite box that I own. It is my Sparkly Things box. So I'm going to pull this out in case I do need to order rhinestones. It's from Looking Glass Gems. Move it around, hopefully the light will hit it. They're comparable to Swarovskis. They're amazing and they're also really affordable. They're not quite as brilliant as Swarovskis, but these are still really, really good. So I'm going to hold on to this. You know, definitely we'll need Gemtech and Fabrifuse E6000. This is the Big Daddy jar. So I definitely have a lot of red rhinestones, so I'm going to pull all of my red ones. Okay. So that's red. These are like a dark pink. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull this out. Here we go. This is what I remember getting these. So I have Garnet and Ruby Slipper Red. These are both SS16s. So I have 5 gross each of these, which is perfect. All about that. These are Swarovski. I don't remember the color. So this makes me happy because I probably won't have to buy any more rhinestones between all of these. I have so many left. I feel like I had more. Oh, here we go. I was about to say, I feel like I had more of these marquise shaped ones. These are more orange though. Yeah. This is what I was looking for. So these are some really deep red beads. They have kind of a cross on the back that you sew through. But I got these for my Morticia Addams costume a couple of years ago. And they're really, really deep and really beautiful, and they just barely read red, and they just barely catch the light. So they're a really nice, subtle kind of sparkle. So definitely gonna pull these out. Love these. So here's everything I have in terms of embellishments. So I don't really have to order any rhinestones, but I might order just some really, really tiny SS12s, or I think they might even have a couple SS10s now. So just some really tiny ones. So I might get a quick order of some of those, and I'm thinking maybe in this light cyan color. I think those 3 all would look really nice. Anyway, so I might do a really quick order of some really tiny rhinestones, and then I'm going to look for some inspiration on how to do the lace appliques, and yeah, I'll go from there. Okay, so I'm scrolling through my Pinterest looking for inspiration and stuff. So I really like this dress, and I'm kind of inspired by that because I really want something like that's applique heavy at the bottom and also like at the top, and it kind of fades out in the middle. But I also just this is always an inspiration to me. And also I really like this dress too and how this one kind of looks. So I'm looking at these kinds of dresses. Sort of that one too. And definitely this one. Just Zuhair Murad is life goals. So these are the kind of dresses that I'm looking for. I'm also going back through like my photos from when I went to New York last year, looking for like appliques and inspiration here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to, this is the remnant, the 1 yard remnant. I just unraveled it. I think I'm just gonna start kind of cutting appliques that I think I might like, and just kind of start pinning it onto the dress, playing around with it. I'm gonna start with the remnant, so in case I cut something really weird and I really hate how I cut it, I still have 2.5 yards over there that I can play with. So I'm gonna start here and start doing some cutting, and I'll probably check in once I have some things pinned. Okay, so here's kind of what I'm working with. Did a little bit at the bottom. It needs like a lot more. Anyway, I'm not feeling this arrangement. I just tried it on my body and I'm not quite sure how, but this pattern and like how I have this arranged just emphasized my hip dips to a level I have not seen them like emphasized before. Like normally they're kind of like but these were like boom, 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 boom hip dips. So yeah, I didn't even notice them the first time I had this dress on before I had all the appliques, and then that made them just pop out, and they were the center of attention. So I'm gonna have to play with that because I'm not entirely happy with that. But I think I'm going to leave this here for tonight and then come back to this tomorrow. So it's been a couple days and I did order rhinestones and they surprised me and came in a day early. Okay, so here's kind of where I'm at right now. It's been a couple of days since I touched this, so here's what the dress looks like now. And I think you can kind of see here what I'm talking about with the hip dip thing, because this is me in like full showgirl bevel and it's really pronounced. And I think part of it is like by bringing this kind of red detail in, it's making this black stick out a little bit more up here, which makes it a little bit more pronounced, which Spanx will fix a little bit of that, but Spanx isn't, you know, a literal miracle. So I think this is a really good example of sometimes things that look good flat and in 2 dimensions doesn't always look great in 3 dimensions. So I'm not really in love with how this configuration makes my figure look. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go for more of an asymmetric kind of look, because it looks weird to have all this be as close to symmetrical as I can, and then it has the slit just up one side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to concentrate most of the lace down at the hem and then kind of like blend it up into the top, but I'm going to continue the rhinestones and the beading all the way up. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do right now is unpick all of this, or unpin all of this and do something fun around the bottom, because I was also thinking I might want to do something like asymmetric, kind of wrapping around the body and coming up one shoulder. But the problem with that is these appliques do not stretch, but the source material does. And when you do that, you need to pin things on a 3-dimensional structure so that you can put pins specifically where you want to put the tacks in. So, you know, it'll look really weird lying flat, but when it's on the body and when it's on that 3-dimensional surface, everything will be nice and smoothed out, and you'll have give where you need it to go, and you're not going to get kind of stuck in there because you've sewn your appliques on so tightly that you can't move underneath them. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do right now is unpick all of this and then try to do something really pretty down here, because I need to get the lace finalized in the next couple of days, because for rhinestones, it's going to take the glue a couple of days to dry, and this event is on Saturday. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm also going to self-shame for a second. We had a party at my house, so I had to clean everything that was out and about and stick everything in my room. So everything wound up on my desk. So somewhere under there is a desk with my pin cushion and all the rhinestones and everything I pulled for this project. Maybe I'll find it this week. Okay, so this is what I'm working with right now, and I already know that I like this iteration much better than the earlier one. So I kind of have the kind of train going on down there. I'm probably going to bring this up a little bit more in the front, and then my plan is to bring it almost all the way up to under my butt on the back on the center seam, and then just like a little bit on this side. So the bodice, I'm not 100% sure if I want to do this on the bodice or if I just want to do like rhinestones all up here. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I have a lot more lace to cut out and get more appliques, and then there's 2 yards over there. So I will be doing a lot of that in the next day. Also, I promise I'm not pregnant. My guts are just trying to kill me. I've been to so many different doctors in the past 2 weeks. Okay, so this is where I'm at right now with the dress. I really like how it turned out. I like how everything kind of fits and how it looks. This is still really weird. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. So I think I'm at a point where I'm good on the skirt. I'm going to go ahead and start tacking all of this down. I think that's going to be my project for the next 2 or 3 days, definitely all night tomorrow and then probably into Wednesday morning. And probably while I'm doing that, I might do a couple of beading, or so a couple of beads in there. So that's the plan. I'm not sold if I'm definitely going to be wearing the gold shoes, because once I get the rhinestones and beads on here, it might be a bit much. But this was just to check the length, see how I liked how it moved when I walked. Might still play around with some stuff up here, haven't decided yet. I have a lot of appliques left over, which is good, means I don't have to cut any more out. So yeah, this is where I'm at for right now, and I think this is where I'm going to stop for tonight, because I'm really tired. Okay, so everything is sewn on. We are in crunch time because that's the only way I know how to do anything is at the last minute, so I'm not going to do like full worn shots of just this on. So I guess it'll be a little bit of a suspenseful moment, but I'm going to go ahead and get some of the rhinestones on and start working on that. Okay, so now that you've seen all of the like behind the scenes, how I made this dress, this is what I ended up with. I don't remember exactly when I stopped filming and when I stopped kind of like updating y'all step by step on what I was doing. So a couple things I learned. One of them is, so the shoes I'm wearing, which you can probably see, are very heavily rhinestoned, and they also have this little buckle on them. So that little buckle caught on a lot of the threads on the inside as I was dancing and as I was just walking around. You can see a couple of them snapped. So I feel like there are kind of 2 ways to solve that. So one of them is I really should have put like an extra kind of lining layer to cover all of that up. That would have been a super easy fix and would have, you know, fixed all of that. Another fix that I probably could have done was I was lazy and tried to sew on multiple appliques at a time instead of doing the smart thing, which was doing a couple of tacks, tying off, couple of tacks, tying off, couple of tacks. So the reason that I did a lot of big loose stitches, and I kind of intended there to be a little bit of like ease between all the stitches and to have them kind of loose, was this is a stretchy material and the lace appliques are not stretchy. So if this dress needed to stretch or needed to move underneath the appliques, if it was very tacked on very rigidly to the appliques would have prevented it from stretching anymore. And then the dress wouldn't be able to stretch the way that it needed to, so I might not be able to move properly in it, and I might not be able to, you know, have full range of motion. And then at that point, things might start kind of gathering and tucking. You can see here, there's a weird little, like, I don't even know what to call that, but that happened because my buckle caught on one of the threads on the inside. So if I had done tighter threads and more smaller stitches, I probably wouldn't have had that problem. But again, I was lazy and waiting until the last possible second to do everything. So, you know, what can you do? So here's a close-up on the bodice. I hope you can see that. So here's the bodice. So I ended up doing the lace appliques up this side, mostly because I just ran out of time and didn't have time to like reposition everything. But I liked how it came out. So here's the lace appliques, and I glued some rhinestones on top. And then this side was just all rhinestones. I tried to do it like concentrated in the center and then kind of fading outward. That was the look I was kind of going for. Also, the bodice, the mesh bodice actually goes down to here. You might see that in a couple of the footage, but I have Spanx on because I have body image issues. So I got some Spanx and they're black, but I think it honestly looks good with the Spanx. I don't think they really take away from anything, so that's what I did. So I used 3 different colors of rhinestones. So I used SS16s in Looking Glass Gems Garnet, which are these really deep reds. SS16s Ruby Slipper Red, which is like this mid-tone red. And then these tiny ones are SS12s Light Cyan. So those are the rhinestones that I used, and I kind of just randomly put them all over the dress. Tried to concentrate more of the garnet on the black part because it was darker, and more of the ruby slipper and the light cyan on the appliques because it's lighter and it blends in a little bit better, but didn't always happen. But I really like how it came out. I got compliments all through the night of how people loved my dress, and I felt absolutely amazing in it. I loved it. I had so much fun. So if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to subscribe, like, leave me a comment, tell me I look banging. So as of right now, I don't really have a whole lot of plans for sewing. So if you have anything you'd like to see me do, please leave it in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything you want to see me try or want to see me mess up really badly. Just let me know. So in the next couple of months, I have a lot of things kind of up in the air. I know I'm going to have to move by June. I just don't entirely know where I'm going yet. But that's okay, we'll figure it out when we get there. So I don't have any like huge plans lined up because I'm kind of starting to focus into moving mode and how I'm going to get all of my stuff that is in my room somewhere else. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with in the back of my head, but I'm always down for distraction projects. I'm a huge fan of procrastinating. So like I said, if there's anything that you want to see me do or you want to see me kind of decorate, if it's crafty, or I just uploaded a makeup tutorial a couple of days ago, so if you want to see me do makeup again, let me know. Just let me know whatever you want to see and I'll be happy to oblige. Also, I was posting live updates on this dress as well as most of the projects I work on over on my Instagram, which is @threadandneedlefish. So if you want to go ahead and give me a follow, I use stories over there. That's where I kind of chronicle all the stuff that I'm working on. So if you want to give me a follow over there, you can see more behind the scenes stuff that doesn't make it to the final edit of these videos, and it would help me out a lot and make me feel really happy. You want in, or are you just saying hi? We'll tell everybody, say bye!